exotic
Duly noted.
exotic meats. A lot of exotic meats.
Okay.
All right, let's continue this.
Hey,
What's your proof? What's your proof?
Don't get too loud before your wife comes over and tells you to get off again.
One at a
Don't get
time,
too
Zay,
loud, yo
come on.
mama.
She gonna tell me to get off again?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Oh, the same way you
What
were
are you
kicking a
talking
cat on stream and then your wife told you to get off the internet,
No,
made you
now I
delete your
kicked a
entire
cat on
YouTube
stream?
channel?
What did I
Don't
kick a
forget
cat
about
on
that
stream?
one,
Now
buddy.
you
Don't
just
forget
make
about that one, buddy, because
Now you just
everybody
make
still
it
remembers
okay.
that one.
So your mama allegedly kicked a cat and had to leave YouTube. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if that's for real though
That's
or
why.
not, because everything I've heard about that has just been like it's alleged. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
So if it ain't on film, it didn't happen. That's kind of where we're at in the world of the internet, right? If it didn't happen, if it's not on film and no one can show proof, then there's no point bringing it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're like no receipts. We don't care.
Yep. All right.
Making that up, buddy. Now you just making that up, buddy. You like that? You like
So
how I
where's your
trashed you
proof?
so bad? I got $1,000
Where's
off
your
you, huh?
single bit
I
of
got
proof,
$1,000
yo mama?
off roasting your stupid ass, huh?
What happened to your channel,
like that,
clown?
huh?
You
How did
deleted
that
it or
feel?
did your wife
How did
delete it?
that
What happened to
feel,
your
though?
channel,
How did
clown?
that
Your
feel
wife
with that
deleted it or
1,000
did
in
you
that
delete
pocket?
it?
When I
Yeah, that
trashed you, I
part.
roasted you so bad, I got
That
$1,000
part.
off of it. It only
But
took me 4
y'all
minutes
see
to
how
roast
he
you.
came up with
I
no
got-
proof?
I got a
Y'all
rack
see
off
how he came up with no
I
proof
got
of
a
anything?
rack
He's
off
just gonna
that.
talk shit like a little bitch? Yeah, that's what I
Bro,
thought. And your
y'all
wife's still
gotta
gonna bitch
get
you up every
those-
time. When
hey.
she see this stream, she's gonna bet. I bet she's gonna
Oh
make
my
you delete
God!
your channel again.
Oh my God! Your man's gonna do another video with you about an hour right after you're done, huh? He's gonna put one in your fucking mouth and you're gonna upload that shit, aren't you? Huh?
Oh, you
Damn.
desperate to look at it, huh?
Man,
Look
that's
at
what
look at
you
two
do.
people
Look
fucking
at
half your
that.
age and you're desperate for it. You
Look at
goon into
what?
it, buddy.
That's
You goon
crazy.
into it.
Look at
You goon
what,
into
bro?
two people
Goon
half your
into
age fucking in
it.
love. You goon into it, buddy.
Ew,
Because your
that's
wife ain't giving
gross.
it to you at
That's
home. That's why
crazy.
she keeps getting you off the
That's
internet.
crazy.
You're mad because your wife ain't
That's
giving you shit,
crazy.
buddy, huh?
I would never put my woman's fucking shit on the internet.
Yeah,
like
because
your
she
man
don't
does
even
you.
want you on the
Because
internet. She
I'd
tells you to
rather-
delete your whole
hey,
YouTube
I'd
channel
rather-
because you embarrass
I'd
her,
rather
buddy.
flip
That's why your wife don't want to be on the
I'd
internet with
rather
you.
flip
Because every
before
time
I
you
do
get on
that.
the internet, you embarrass her,
Crazy.
buddy.
That's crazy. I'd rather
Look.
No, I love that. I love her coming at him for that shit because you're such a slimy fucking piece of shit for bringing up that shit that she does outside the
Yeah.
universe into this fucking shit. I'm so sick and tired of people bringing it up at this fucking point. Holy fucking shit! Can we just let it the fuck go? That some people do goddamn sex work. Can we just fucking accept that fact? Are you fucking jealous that some people can make money posting their poo nanny on the goddamn internet and you fucking can't, yo mama, because nobody wants to look at your fucking shriveled ass. Nobody wants to look at that shit, yo mama. Fuck you. Are you fucking mad? It seems like you're fucking mad. God damn.
Remember,
Like,
guys.
who gives a fuck? Who gives a Who gives a fuck?
Listen. Buffweave's in the chat and says, yes. Here's the thing. Sex work has been around as long as possible, right? Like, again, as far as what
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. What the? Okay, never mind. We're good, sir. Sorry. I thought my volume was a little lower than I thought it was, but it isn't. I'm just going crazy. Right. So let's get into the LCU and their typical drama they get into, right? So what's going on? Well, I didn't realize this at all. Apparently, that's a big drama going on in the LCU, dealing with a lot of the women, particularly with, Batgirl and Zayzudid. Now, it's been a while since Zayzudid has been, thrown back into the limelight. Who knows? And the reason is very clear. I think because when you look at it, like Becky and Roxy, their drama has been like more focused, right? Where I think Zay has done a pretty good job, mostly because of Buff, right? Mostly because of Buff ability to kind of ease her down. Now, sometimes Buff could intensify it, but I think in certain situations he does a good job in, how can I say, mitigating her outburst, right? But when apparently with Yo Mama hit a nerd. Now, apparently, Yo Mama also hit a nerve with Batgirl, and this has to do with relating to sex work and stuff of that nature, right? I made it very clear that I don't approve of sex work. I'm very anti-sex work. Now, I do understand why some women fall into that trap, why so many women, especially in the modern day. I still don't approve of it. I don't like that stuff no matter what, but I think you have to be willing. Yeah, you can still like it and sort of understand why some women, at least now, they do it, compared to maybe back in the day, where back in the day when you're so desperate, selling your body is the only option, right? And but nowadays, where things aren't really like that, except when it's coming to medical stuff. But again, even so, regardless of that, I still don't approve of it. But I usually don't go out of my way to just tell a woman who's a sex worker, like, that kind of stuff. Oh boy.
Be all at once. That's a good point. Give
Sounds
people
good.
like something to look forward to.
Oh, yeah. And
Okay.
it's always entertaining listening to about Trisha or H3, especially for our audience.
Exactly. So I do want to touch on this point just a little bit. I know that a lot of people say that we work together, that we're a good team, but money talks, okay? So let me actually look at the leaderboard real quick, because even though people say that we're doing good or that we're good personalities or people would want to see us like work together more, it all depends. Oh, the leaderboard looks very different today. Excuse me, Baha Wolf. Can we get a little bit of hell yeah, Baha? This looks so different. There's like moving parts and like money sign little. Oh, this is nice. This is nice.
It's nice. It's nice.
Excited.
So this is the lolcow leader. Oh, even when you go on each word, it pops up. Lolcow leaderboard. I wonder how much memory this is using of my freaking PC. Just this part alone. Super chats, 10 channels tracked. Memberships, total memberships of 2,863. And the top channel right now is
Yes.
lolcowlive. I don't think that's changing
Oh.
anytime soon.
No.
So when it comes to super chats, so far we are number 8, which is very surprising because we did not stream for the whole weekend. And today
Yes.
hasn't been too much of a good day when it comes to super chats. We
Oh.
have number 9 for the membership rankings. We have 331, which is a long way from Tech Talk, which is 383. We also have the breakdown, which is number 7. We have 1 crown,
7.
6 pay pigs, and 111 cash cows. So thank you
How
guys.
is Tech Talk at the bottom for that? That's
for
crazy.
probably because they don't have any pay pigs or any crowns so
Or
far.
crowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus they only have like 49 memberships. But even though they don't have a lot of members right now, they do pretty
They've-
well when it
have
comes
lots
to
of
gifted and
Gifted.
super
Yes.
chats. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Pump it up.
in general, yeah, even though we're doing good, the only thing that will keep us afloat is the support that you guys give. And we do appreciate every single one of you guys.
Right.
Absolutely. We do.
Exactly.
But-
So we are going to do a couple minutes of the frenemies, and we're going to react,
Ooh.
and you get to learn what H3 is, and we get to see Trisha being Trisha.
Trisha
would be-
being Trisha.
Exactly. So let me pull this up real quick.
Thanks,
Sweet
Beans.
Tea, where did you go?
She gone. Oh, here she is.
What do you have in your hand? Sweet Tea? Oh, she doesn't have her headphones on. Sweet Tea, what are you doing?
I was wanting to show you guys this cool little it's like a little
Now here we have the dolls doing doll stuff, which is just doll stuff, and looking at the numbers on where the ranking system is at, which we haven't really seen too much of it lately. I personally don't really care too much about the ranking system, besides like whatever. Can it be better? Can it be, can I don't know. I don't really care enough for the ranking system every so often. If I'm gonna look at numbers, I rather just look at their actual numbers on Playboy or stuff like that to see the exact viewership in live. I mean, you know, I guess if you're making money over views and is whatever, right? Because at that point, if you're making money through your super chats and your memberships, then you don't need views. I guess I don't know. I don't know. I think with dolls, I think the issue with dolls is right now. But no, I don't know if I have any real issue with doll, or I even like it. I think it comes down to. I think in this situation, it comes down to. They could be better. You know, they do need somebody who is quite more up and up. And that could be anyone. I really don't care. They need somebody who's up and up because like the one of the problem with some of these shows is that, and even it in itself can be a problem, right? Is that there's a lack of that up energy, right? Where I think Beans can kind of fill in the gap, but the problem is he being genuine or she's faking it, and that's always an issue, right? Right? If you're faking it, then I mean you're spending more energy than if you were to be believable, right? Like, and when we look at the opposite end of it, right? Let's say in the case of like one buff, right, who is very energetic, who is very up and up. Even like Xylee, who even though she's not, I wouldn't really say she's up and up. She's at least very loud and very vocal, very brutal. I will not deny that much, but she's very much up in the up. Um, but again, they do need somebody who can fill in that energy gap. I mean, at least the one thing you can say about Pigtail is sometimes he can do that, right? Or when Pupstar was there, but the problem is that Pupstar, regardless of what happened to her, she was, I already felt that like she was gonna say something offhanded, that a lot of people were not gonna like, especially that she was bringing a race a few times, and there was already a bit of an uproar about that particularly. But again, they do need to fill in the gap. Plus, I needed something to talk about to fill in this small time zone or just small time.
Should be able to do whatever the fuck you want with your own goddamn life, as long as you are not fucking hurting other people. Has they and fucking S1K hurt anybody with the fucking shit that they're doing? No, because they're not out there doing fucking heinous shit that they should warrant this fucking reaction for. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man, come on.
So
understand if it was like a Nova Online situation, you know what I mean? Something like that, where there's like actual threats and actual shit to be fucking pissed off for. But for something like this, fuck you. Like, fuck that.
I respect this a lot, like, from both of you guys, honestly, because like what she's saying, like, it's true. There's been so many other girls who have come into the LCU, and people in general. There have been fucking guys in the LCU who have done sex work that don't get hate for it. But it's this like weird stigma where it's like, maybe I was like the first one to ever admit it or something. I have no clue, but
nobody ever gets on me, and like I literally have multiple people be like, "I found your nudes," and I'm like, okay. Do you like them?
Well, the original person was a complexity, right? I don't know if y'all remember the early like LCU or actually lolcowlive lore. That all came out and it was all fucked up. But for him, it was like a Twitter. It was I guess it was public. I don't fucking know the ins and outs of it. But regardless, it was an NSW Twitter. It was for 18 plus, and people found that, and then there we go. All the rest is history. But we all know there's a difference in societal standards with women and men when it comes to partners, when it comes to like fucking, when it comes to the weird shit. There's a difference.
A guy fucks a bunch of girls is a player. A girl that fucks a bunch of guys is a whore. It makes no fucking sense. It takes tits to tat. It makes no sense. If girls were too prudish, guys couldn't be players. It makes no sense. It's a yin and a yang. You only can get pussy if people are out there giving pussy. There's like it just makes no fucking sense. I'm sorry. Keep going.
You know what the difference is? And realistically, and this is going to be not real graphic, but really intrusive. All right.
Yeah.
Women have to accept it inside of them, whereas men give it.
Yeah.
So giving it is looked at differently than accepting it.
Yep, that's
That's
actually
why people make-
literally
You know
what the standard is.
That's why people
with
make
it.
fun of bottoms.
I want to respond to this one
Yeah.
comment really quickly. Diogeo says, Zay, I believe the issue was how your BF behaved in the Discord and made everyone hate you both. Keemstar warned you about his attitude and the consequences, but I am not agreeing with it. Now, the funny thing about that is if you actually know the lore, and I'm sure Ken knows because he was there since I first joined, he wasn't in the Discord in the very beginning. It took 2 months before he joined to finally come in and defend me because he was sick of seeing me upset every night dealing with the shit by myself.
Because no one had your back. Literally,
Nobody.
no one had your back. And
No, because it's just. It's
No, to be
incel
honest, you
fucking
know who
behavior.
did? You know who I do give credit to? Ken and Complexity. 2 of the only people that had my back. To be honest,
Yeah.
you guys were. You were the only people who were nice to me when I first joined. And Zeph, you 3 were like the only people who were nice to me.
Yeah.
There
Because
was
I mean,
like
I don't.
like few other like.
Now this is interesting. All right, I'm gonna try to look at this at least a little bit on both sides. On the grounds of, on one end, Zay's boyfriend has a right to defend her. You can't take that away. That's the job of a boyfriend, right, or a girlfriend to come in to defend their spouse. Now there is something I do want to talk about, but we'll get into it when we get into live. Because it is important to talk about it when we get into live, and to some extent even into rewind, right? Because they bring that topic right back up, dealing with something particular. I wonder what is that? You know, again, you can't deny that at least S1K is the lead's coming in defending her. Now the reason is very clear. It's because of her past dealing with sexual work. Right now, she tries to deny that she doesn't have an OnlyFans. You can look that up. That's sort of a lie, right? Unless she has come out and admitted she has. From the last time I remember, anytime people brought that up, she shut it down and she said she didn't. Unless I'm misremembering it, but I do remember that she clearly does. It's not that hard to look, right? Especially when you're a, I guess now a public figure, right? It's just interesting, right? But from what I've also heard about on the Discord, because you kind of have to take their opinions into matters, right? Where on the Discord they say S1K is kind of an asshole and is known to be kind of, I wouldn't say abusive, hint hint, to the future in the next 2 or 3 segments, but he is known for being a shit stirrer, right? Now apparently he's from the CS:GO community, like the Counter-Strike community. So that makes a little bit more sense, right? When you're from a gaming community that is very known to be quite aggressive, right? Like they say, the fighting community is very known to be very aggressive, very much shit talker. Like Call of Duty is like that, Battlefield's like that. So when you're coming from a community from there and you come to a different community like this, right? That not necessarily gaming. You have a lot of people who are gaming fans, but they don't act like that, or maybe because of the way the Discord is, they don't choose to act like that on the Discord, right? So, you know, again, if you're a shit stirrer and you get the shit thrown back to you, you kind of have to take it. Now, on the other hand, there are people who do start shit with him. Take a shot every time I say the word shit. Ali, you know, he has every right to defend himself. But if he's known to be kind of a shit stirrer in the past and a bit of an asshole and provoking fights when they're unwarranted, you see what I mean? There's a lot of back and forth, and to find the root cause of this, you can say that the root cause of it is that Zay is an OF model, or was, and she's not willing to admit that. But like in the end, like, well, it's kind of her decision. But if people are bringing up proof and evidence, you know what I mean? It makes the situation way more convoluted, I guess. Especially, again, when you have a boyfriend who has to deal with it. Now, there's also the whole thing, because people are always going to bring up about the cucking situation, with, you know, which it is true. And, you know, as a guy, right, if, you know, the guy, your girl did something like that, and if you're in the other room or whatever, or you're the one recording it, you are a cuck no matter what. You cannot, you know, you are. And I'm not saying embrace being a cuck, but you have to be willing to accept the fact that, hey, you did got cuck. You know what I mean? You know, now some people are gonna use that as an insult no matter what. Now maybe Zay early on should have never brought that stuff up. Now, sorry for cutting a little segment off, or, you know, cutting that off because my dogs were being my dogs. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll let people decide, right? This is a way is always going to be popping up. Now, you know, and I remember even not one buff week, but I believe in Queens later on, at least, they do kind of bring this back up. But again, the situation's a lot more tense. Okay, well, now we'll get into live.
Sick of people attacking Zay Zudit for doing the sex work, that he doesn't respect them if they go after her for that. Jared, Red, thank you for the 5. There's so much here, dude. It's hard to, like, keep up. What?
Can I just have some uninterrupted 5 minutes or something, please? Look, I obviously have a history with sex work, okay? Right, my mama did fucking sex work. I've known a lot of sex workers, okay? And sex workers, by the way, turn out to be the worst motherfuckers on the planet. I'm sorry if selling your pussy is the only fucking trade skill you can learn, but guess what? It's got an expiration date.
$20. I know you say I'm boring, but anytime I've ever gone up on a show, it was just to talk about whatever they were talking about. It wasn't to entertain anyone, but it's okay. All good in the LCU hood.
He's got
cool.
He's got a complex now over my criticism. But go ahead, Boogie.
I'm just, I have a beef with sex workers because every sex worker I've ever met, and you know I've met quite a few, they all turn out to be the worst motherfuckers on the planet. They are human fucking garbage, okay? And like, if your only tread skill is your ability to sell your pussy, bad news, you're gonna be out of work when you turn 30. So you need to learn a fucking skill. I get that you can make rent money by selling your pussy on OnlyFans. Congratulations. Have some self-respect. You gotta live another 70 years after that pussy expires. Figure your shit out, but that's fine. That's fine. We have sex workers in the LCU, and I don't have a problem with them. Sex work is work. Sex work is work. In this economy, get fucking paid. You got to get laid to get paid. I said that a million fucking times. And I have my personal beef with Zay Zudit. I think she's fucking boring. I don't like watching her. She hurt my girlfriend's feelings, and I'll never forgive her for that. But S1K is a piece of human fucking garbage. I don't even know if he's an American fucking citizen, by the way. I expect him to get picked up by ICE any goddamn day of the fucking week, and I hope you fucking do. After the way I heard this cocksucker motherfucker treating Zay, on the day I joined fucking Nerds as their manager, she was bawling her fucking eyes out, and this motherfucker's in the background screaming at her. On what planet have you ever... She said he was just helping me. He's just helping me. On what planet has screaming at a crying woman ever fucking helped them? It never fucking has. It never fucking will. And by the way, I seen the bruises on your fucking arms, Zay. I saw the bruises on your fucking arms. Several people did. And I fucking know. I fucking know the truth. You defend him like he abuses you. You defend him like you're afraid to go to sleep with him mad at you at night. That's how you fucking defend him. You defend him like a rabid fucking dog. It's one thing to defend your girl the way I defended mine. It's another to defend your man like you're fucking afraid of him, because I believe you are. I believe you're terrified of him. And if the way he treats other hosts in this LCU and the way he treats people on that Discord is a fraction of how shitty he treats you, then he is a piece of shit.
And with that, Zay Zuda has joined the Becky Network.
I've been holding this in for a while, man. One day on Discord, I went into Nerds to talk to Zay about this. And I'm like, Zay, I hope he treats you better than he treats everyone else. And if he doesn't, I hope you do better. And she acted like I just shit in her goddamn Wheaties. She acted afraid, dude. She sounded fucking afraid.
Can this $20 ban ETX? Please and thank you. Also waited to send this after the glorious boogie rant. _win. _win.
Yeah, I was gonna wait, but I'm over it, bro.
_boogie.
So let's get started.
Now, this is very interesting. To throw a claim like this is very crazy. And for the next, I would say, back into Rewind, they do bring up this topic again. But to throw a claim like this is insane without much evidence or proof. Now, when I first heard this, I had flashback of an individual who it's kind of, well, not simply just they or just individual, but I do know people who have been in abusive relationship, right? I had friends, right, who were in an abusive relationship, and it is very common for one of the person to very much defend their spouse, right, or whoever, when they're in an abusive relationship, just like Zay, right? If you do have some type of bipolar stuff and yelling at your girl, which is something they brought up later, you shouldn't be yelling at your manic girlfriend when she's going through a manic stage, when she's about to crash out and cry. You really shouldn't do that, especially if she's bipolar, which is what you know, which was confirmed, right? But the thing is, though, right? The thing is, if you have bipolar, what the fuck are you doing on a show like this, where the chaos is very active, right? I guess there is a case you can make that people who are mentally ill are driven to more stuff like this because it's an attraction. It makes them trauma dump with a lot of people, or illness dump. I guess it's another word you could use. I don't know. Again, getting back to this whole abuse stuff, is he being abused? I'm not sure. I want to believe that that's not the case. Even if I don't like you, right? Even if I do not like you, right? I would not even make a claim like this at all, right? I would not make a claim that, no, not even that. Like, even if I don't like S1K, to kind of call him an abuser off the hand like this, it's a little offhand. Now, mind you, S1K is not on stream at all. I know he's on chat, but I can't, like, calling him something like this without any proof is way wild. But is it off? Can you say that? Well, is there some type of truth, or maybe it is true? I guess if you want to look at that, well, let's look into that. Like, maybe just his general behavior, the way he acts, his mannerisms, especially in chat, the way he starts fighting. It could be that he is sort of an abuser, right? Maybe on those grounds. And then maybe the yelling at Zay can also be true as an abuser. And whether or not he really did got bruises, now that could be explained away because I know they can be very active outside, so there's that. But even then, like, you're putting a claim that is very destructive, right? You're putting a claim that is very destructive, that has destroyed people's life in the past, right? That is a claim that has literally destroyed. Reminds me a little bit of Becky. That has destroyed people's life completely, right? That has destroyed people's life completely, right? And we've seen it before, and when they're not true, that person is basically screwed anyway because there's no way for them to get out of it. So again, Boogie, to make a claim that is so out there, that is so destructive, Good job, dumbass. Like, you could have easily destroyed his life by making that one claim. And then on top of that, there's already people who don't like him, right? Especially people who don't like Zay, so they're gonna use this more and more as ammunition against Zay. So you kind of made it. And again, I don't like Zay one bit, right? But I am willing to give her prompts, right? She does a good job hosting. She knows what she's doing. You know, she balanced. You know, she does a good job with Bob, right? Whatever. But to kind of make a claim that her, BF is to make a claim that her BF is an abuser, is quite wild. So again, good job, dumbass. I don't know why you would make a claim like that without any, at all. I don't know what else I can say that because there's not enough evidence that can be said. There's not enough that could be done. All right, without making a false claim and that spiraling out of control. That's the problem with this. Is that once you make a false claim like this, and you have no way of backing it up, and it's just false, you will destroy somebody's life in the process. So, am I defending Zay? I think in a situation like this, I'm not really here to defend her boyfriend, but I'm here to kind of be like, don't make a dumb claim like this ever again if you're gonna need some proof, because this can really destroy somebody's life. You guys have been through this already, right? That's what really gets on my nerve is you guys have already gone through this once, and now you're repeating it, knowing the damage is going to be devastating. God dang, why are these people so incompetent?
I get it. But her coming at my son, her coming at me is one thing. I'm a grown woman.
That shit with Albert. I told her
I'm tired of that shit now. Then you better leave Albert alone. I'm telling you, I'm a fucker like Bob.
I know. I'm not here. I'm not here for you, Tina. I promise. I love you. I'm here for the old man down here.
Oh, wait. You're not
here. Old bitch, I'm talking. I don't know what the fuck you want a grandstand? Go ahead.
You sat there and let her say that and didn't say nothing. You was rolling with that clown. You was rolling with that clown. Yeah, you was. Yeah, you was. Yeah, you was. You was rolling with that bullshit you was saying. Tap dancer. You a tap dancer. That's what you are. Tap for your boy. Huh?
Are you done? Are you done, cat kicker? Remember when you kicked the cat, motherfucker? Remember that? You remember that? How you made a joke about how you kicked the fucking cat? I'll play the video on stream
wait a minute. So I can't. Wait a minute.
Cat abuser. How about that? You kick cats. You're disgusting.
Wait a minute.
Have you talked about that? Huh? Kicking poor animals to death? You might as well do that with dogs too. Did you do that? Because Zeta Ray already gave me all the things. Hey, this man abuses animals, Tina.
I respect you, but please let your mama. Please let your mama go ahead and take it.
Can I reply? Thank you very much. It was 15 years ago. I was a stand-up comedian. What's kind of crazy is I made jokes, and I apologize for the jokes that I made. Now, the funny part about this, the same joke that I made about kicking the cat. And at the same time, I talked about my neighbor also having dead bodies in his refrigerator and also having sex with aliens. But none of that gets passed around, no. It's always like 15 years ago, you was a stand-up comedian, you made jokes. That was one of the jokes that I made. Eddie Murphy made bad jokes. Kevin Hart made bad jokes. Everybody that was trying to be stand-up comedian back in the day 15 fucking years ago is not the same fucking today. So if you want to hold somebody down because they was trying to be a stand-up comedian and trying to make it as a comedian and made a fucking joke, and you sit here and you want to grandstand like a fucking Karen that you are a crazy man.
Everybody
now you got black gums. Buff. Now go ahead and spit that fucking yoo-hoo out of your goddamn mouth. Roll that shit. Go ahead, clown.
Go Buff.
Roll it.
Go ahead, clown.
See it.
Oh, you talking
spit
about like
spit the yoo-hoo.
Don't let me talk? Are you gonna be a little kid? I'm sorry, little bud.
Got it, Buff.
Look. I'm sorry. The little cat kicker down here got upset. I thought that he was making a joke. When he came to me and he told me, like, look, I thought it would just be an edgy comedian. I know a lot of edgy comedians, and I get that. But when somebody sent me hold on, calm down, bud. Hey, when somebody sent me a video of him laughing about telling the story, it wasn't a joke. He made his story into a joke, and it's not. This man got scared because a cat jumped up, he punted it, kicked the little motherfucker, and then it died. And then he wants to say it's a joke. It's not a joke.
You know what's funny?
I'm not done talking. I'm not done talking, old man.
My bad. Go ahead.
You're a disgusting fuck. You have nothing to say about Zay besides something. Now, look, if you want to talk about my fucking co-host, you can say she doesn't know it. You can say everything else. But I am not going to have you sit here and say such fucking disgusting things because you're sad and fucking irrelevant. That's why. Why'd you delete your channel, yo mama?
What did I say?
Oh, wait. Why'd you delete your channel?
Now, can I talk now? Well, first of all, what did I say? I just came on and I just said her man was disgusting. And you know what's funny? Every time this guy attacks somebody, like Boogie and every fucking host around there, and then as soon as we go after him,
That's not my question, politician. Why did you delete your channel, old man? I know you're senile and you can't understand words. Why did you delete your channel?
And first of all, Buff Weeb, I sent you the fucking video. I literally sent you the video of the whole context of the whole thing going through with the joke about my neighbor. I sent you the whole fucking thing. It's literally on my channel. But go ahead though. You can roll with that, my boy. If you want to roll with jokes, that's cool. Cause you a lame-o. You a Karen. You just like all them bunnies. You a snow bunny. You's a snow bunny. I'm calling you Snow Bunny Weed.
It's my show. Wait a minute. Buckweeb, hold on a minute. You used to trash the shit out of your co-host. I get it. Y'all get along now because y'all are making money, making ends, making friends. I get it. But at the same time, you can't stop the next person from saying anything because let's face it, everybody dragged my last co-host and there wasn't a fucking thing I could do about it because it's called entitlement. It's called opinions. We all have them. Now, about the cat thing, you knew about this before you did a church service with him the other day. Why is it was okay the other day, but because he dragged not Zay Zooted herself, but her cuck. Now all of a sudden he's a bad person. Could you make me understand that, please? That's all
I thought, like, Miss Tina, I literally thought that. I know you make that sound when you wake up, old man. But look, I'm just trying to say this. I thought it was a joke. I liked Yo Mama. I wanted to do a literal sideshow. We already talked about. Don't let it do it wearing this Chucky outfit. We already talked about this. But when he came up talking about shit about Zay, when you do it when you do it because it's a tit for tat. Hold on, shut the fuck up, old man. Oh wait,
you switched up. You a switcher, bro. As soon as I said something bad about Zay, all of a sudden your mom is the worst person on this planet. Dude, you're weird, bro. Stop caping.
So when it's coming to the situation with Buff and Yo Mama, this has to do with, I believe, the offhanded comment that Yo Mama said to Zay and also back on Nerds. Now, on one hand, like, well, if somebody you're working with is showing not the whole context or whatever, or showing something that it's fault, it is sort of your job, regardless of your relationship with your co-host, to come in and be like, wait a minute, you got to correct this. In a way, one Bob has been whipped. If you know what I mean by whip, if you know what I mean by that word, then you know what I'm trying to get at, right? That he's been basically whipped into line by Zay, which is very funny when we think about that. Now, again, I understand that it is his job as her co-host to defend her, and that's perfectly fine. He's admitted that a number of times that it is his job to defend her. Fair enough, but it's also your job to come in and say something that is wrong, unless you're scared. Now, we know that there is some fighting between them a lot of the time within their Discord. From what Zay and Buff have said, they do fight quite a bit in their Discord, even sometime before a show. They did do a good job in hiding it. And that's a good thing. Well, whether or not it's a good thing, but it is sort of good to separate your previous argument before you do anything else. That is a good thing to do. The thing is that we're never given an idea, or we are kind of given an idea of things they fight over. And I can imagine some of the time they fight over is whether or not if Buff is defending Zay Zooted when it's warranted. If she's mad at him that he's not defending it at all time, even when it's not necessarily needed, then well, that is a problem, right? You're not her boyfriend, man. You're not her boyfriend. You're her co-host. You're her friend or whatever you want to say. But on the other hand, right, like, if she is doing something that is wrong, then you have to call it out. Now, I know that Zay would do the same with you, right? I think Zay has already done the same for when Buffy defended him and even come to bat for him a few times already. So, you can't deny that either. It just kind of comes down to, if Zay is doing something that is wrong, why isn't one Buff saying it? And if your mama and Tina are coming in and, you know, especially when you're dealing with something that happened years ago, right? If your mama was a comedian, and a lot of comedians do get a lot of shit nowadays for things they have said, you know what I mean? It's a tricky situation, right? Because one Buff already made the claim that no matter what, he's going to defend Zay. Anybody who talks shit to Zay is talking shit to him. Fair enough. You can't take that away. And I would even say that that applies to all co-hosts, regardless if I like you or not. It's like, if you're willing to say that out there, no matter what, that you're willing to take the shit for your co-host, hey, good job. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like, and even if one Buff wanted to give Yo Mama the benefit of the doubt, I don't think he can't. Not because he's incapable. It's mostly because it'll start another fight between him and Zay Judith, and you can tell that it will be there in the next stream and the stream after that. So it's telling, right? It's very telling. And, you know, because of that telling, it puts things into a situation that he doesn't want to be in. I am pretty sure he's admitted that he doesn't want to be in a situation where, you know, he doesn't want to fight with Zay. Because it's probably easier to not fight with her at all, right? It's probably a lot easier to just be, yes, you're right, slay, queen, slay, than it is to, like, you know, hey, I think you did, you know, hey, I think you're wrong about this, right? And then that spark it into a whole fight. Given the way Zay personality is, which is very, very, and I would say very aggressive. Again, it puts things into a situation where he doesn't want to be in a fight.
I don't believe adding cops to a situation helps most of the time. The last time I added cops to a situation, I am now a felon because
Boogie, here's the thing. You've been through 30, 40 years of all this learning and stuff. They got a whole lot of learning to do themselves. And you jumping the gun on it is stealing their learning from them, and it's not really going to help, right?
Well, I wish they would learn from me, and by saying...
They won't. That's the dumbest thing you could say. That's the dumbest thing you could say. I wish they could learn from me. That's the most ignorant thing you could say.
They may not be able to, but I wish it.
I wish I could suck my own dick, Boogie, but I swear to God,
suck my own dick, I could probably leave my home.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. If you got 3 wishes, you should start wishing for something other than them to learn from you, because they're never going to learn from you. You have 30 years of getting to where you're at, and you're just starting to like yourself.
You don't believe in cops, right, Boogie? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call me not once?
I have no interest in talking to you.
Desi has my phone number. Didn't you call me not once?
I have no interest in talking to you. I don't like you. I just wanted to help you.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
Everybody, hold on. Wait a minute. So, 1, a Discord server VC is not a private setting, okay? 2, you were so concerned about her, you didn't even message her privately before you said it in front of 4,000 people.
Will you go ahead and tell them why I've never messaged Zay? Would you like to tell him?
Because we're not supposed to. It's just we're not supposed to.
That's I'm not supposed to. Desi's asked me not to, so I don't. She doesn't like the woman, and she wants me to keep most of my interactions with women to a minimum because she wants me to spend my time and my energy on her. So yes, my girl asked me not to message you, and I
are checking on if the woman is being abused or not. What?
What? That's what I'm saying. Then, to be honest, your girlfriend's got some crazy insecurities. No
Well,
respect for her at all.
which is why I went to your man directly at the first opportunity I had.
Yeah, I have no respect for you or your woman, and I
Well, you
never
don't have
will
to. I
because you
understand. We
are
have
the
no
most.
fucking
You
respect
both
for
are
you.
so
I think the
performative right
feeling
now.
is
You're trying to
mutual
your
at this
man.
point.
That's why I went to
you're
your
trying to act
man
like you're
directly the
laying up
first
in bed and
opportunity I
thinking
had.
about you're
Is
laying
why
up
I
in
went
bed
to your
thinking
man
about my
directly the first
relationship because
opportunity
yours
I
is
had.
so sad because clearly you're not doing it right with her. You know, your relationship's so sad. You're up at 5 a.m. talking about mine, speculating on my relationship
sleep
because you
by
hate me so
phasically. What are
bad.
you
You're trying
talking
to
about?
take me down,
I
Boogie.
sleep
But see
by
how it didn't work
phasically.
because you're
I sleep
still
by
wrong. Call the
phasically.
wells.
Everyone
You
knows
wrong.
this.
Call me and ask me what's going
I'm
on.
up
You
every
didn't.
day at 5 a.m. I sleep by phasically because of my back pain.
This is just straight cap. You have liar on your face for a reason. If you have any proof
Feel
I'm being
free.
abused, please
Feel free to say
prove
what
it.
you want to say, but I will tell you the reason I took it up with your man at the first opportunity I had is because I do not like you and I do not want to spend time talking to you, and I did not think you would tell me the truth to begin with. So that's why I wanted to talk to him.
Abuser.
That's why I wanted to
Imagine
talk
that.
to him.
You would take it up with the abuser so that
Of
the
course.
woman could,
Of
if
course.
you actually believe he was
yeah.
being beat,
Oh yeah, if it
wouldn't
turns
he
out
just
he was
beat me
beating,
more?
if it
Are
turns
you
out he was hitting
retarded?
you,
Now,
I didn't hit Jordy in the ring, but I'd be glad to hit that motherfucker if he's putting hands on you. I promise you. I will always take it up with the abuser. I'll always take it up with the abuser every goddamn chance I get.
Now,
You
Zay.
did it when it was wings. You sat there on the couch when it was wings and watched it happen, actually, and then went and defended him multiple times and said he should be back on live. He would never do that to his woman. You sat and watched it happen.
And then,
Also, you
and then
said
when
you
I saw
watched
the car
thousands of
video,
women be
and then when I
abused
saw
on
the car
stream
video,
today.
we
What'd you do for
showed it
them?
to the world. Then when we saw the car video and realized there was a pattern, we showed it to the entire world.
Yeah, you showed it to the entire world with no proof. You made an accusation that honestly
We had
could
the
be
proof.
seen
We
as
showed
defamation
the
of
proof.
character. So
We had
sometimes you
the
gotta
proof.
really
We
watch
showed
yourself
the
before you
proof.
speak.
We had the proof. We showed the proof.
Now, Zay.
What's the proof?
Now, the proof of the car video, or what proof?
I'm saying that when he pushed Kelly, it looked like an accident to us at the time. Then we got the car video and realized there might be a pattern there. So we showed and discussed the pattern. The same way I heard him initially yelling at you, but I did not see a pattern yet. Once I saw a pattern, I talked about it.
How do we move on from all this? How do we get this?
Because you've never been in another private call with me or S1K ever.
Nope.
So what's the
Nope.
pattern here? You saw one phone call, and then you're saying one time months
The
down
pattern
the
is
line,
the bruises on
unrelated,
your
I
arm.
had
The
one
pattern is the
bruise
way
on
that
my
he
arm.
talks to everyone else. The pattern is the way that he has fucking acted. The pattern is the way that you defend him the same way every other abused woman I've ever known defends their partner. It's such a very unique,
If there's no
pattern.
if
It's
there's
so
no
hard to
abuse,
not
how
see
should she
it when you
defend
see
him?
it.
If there's no abuse, how should she defend him? Give her some give her some pointers on how to cover up the abuse, Boogie.
I mean, I don't know. It's actually really hard to cover up the abuse, and that's why it's so obvious most of the time when people are trying to lie about it.
Boogie, you were so worried about her, yet Boogie, I'm okay. Listen, I understand
One
you
second.
and
You could have
Desi.
asked Kim or anyone else
I have
in the
no-
universe
Let's
to talk to
Boogie.
her. You caught her without any proof when she was prepared for a battle with Yomana. In the F.
When she was prepared for a battle with Yo Mama, you caught her without any proof. Well, there was no proof. They were allegations based on what he heard. So, like, what is she supposed to say? She's just supposed to say, no.
Now here we're back with the whole abuse allegation with, again, like you're, Jesus, Heavenly Father. If you're making a claim like this, Boogie, or anybody, you need to have some evident proof because you guys already went through this once with Becky and Richie. And look how that shit ended. You can't make these claims without having evidence, right? It isn't like the Dorps where there is evidence of some type of abuse going on both ends, right? There's video evidence, there's stream evidence, right? You can make the claim there, right? You can make the claim there, especially when we're dealing with the struggle session. I know I'm bringing up the Dorps, but that is, there's more evidence of Ben abusing Grace than there is of S1K on Zay Zudit. And I know they don't want that to be a comparison. I'm pretty sure they'd never want that to be a comparison, right? You know, you can't make a claim like that without some type of proof. Something, even if it's small, there has to be something, and there really wasn't, right? And the people who think she is being abused by S1K were mostly people who don't like him. And when I was hearing this last night, mind you, this video probably won't be going up till like, this video probably won't be up till like right around when, I'm pretty sure Nerd is going up, so maybe it'll be relevant by then. But the thing is, even with that, the only claim that you have is that you saw bruises, which is, you know, we don't see the bruises now because bruises do heal, so take that with a grain of salt. And that you may have heard him when you asked him the question, when you ask him the question, do you treat your girl right? You know, if somebody comes up to you and asks you that question, you're not going to respond fast. Even if you treat your girl really great, beautiful, and there's a lot of proof, if somebody comes up to you and asks that out of the blue, especially early in the morning, you're not going to respond right up. Like, you're going to be like, wait, what? A lot of people are going to actually be very pissed off, actually, because that is an insult. A lot of guys take that as an insult, and rightfully so. Now, on the other hand, I have seen cases where the spouse is very defensive, even with the smallest thing. And that could be a sign of something abusive. And mind you, Xylee is somebody who was in an abusive relationship for 6 years, but like didn't get out of it. So it's very tough. I'm not even sure, right? I'm not even sure. Right? I'm not even sure. I don't know. It's a situation where you're making a claim without having proof, and that is very destructive. Now, Boogie could be doing it out of complete spite because of the way they treated Desi. Fair enough. That is actually maybe a good, not a good case to destroy somebody's life, but that is at least could explain why he's doing it, because Boogie is a very petty man, right? But again, do a wellness check. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe by doing a wellness check that's going IRL, it's brutal, right? You're adding more fuel to the fire to an individual that people don't like, and the people who don't like him are gonna just call him an abuser, and now you made it worse. Now, if he was an abuser, then well, you just made the situation way worse than it has to be, because you know, like the things he would be doing to her, because now he's outed as an abuser. In this situation, I'm not saying he is an abuser, but in a hypothetical situation, if he was an abuser, by outing him out, you have made it worse. Again, there's not really evidence or show besides what Boogie was saying. I don't know why these people are like this. Like, I know Ruby would say that they're mentally ill. Maybe someone like Grace would say that they're just doing this for clout. I just think they're just incompetent sometimes. They're incompetent. I don't even think it's mental illness, because I met people who were kind of mentally ill and they're at least somewhat competent at what they're trying to do. These people are incompetent, right? Like Zay, like no, like okay, look, Ruby's mentally ill, but she's competent what she's trying to do. Grace, probably mentally ill, competent as what she's doing. D-Dog, autistic, competent. Right? There's other content creators who are mentally ill, but they're competent at what they're trying to do. Boogie, you're a freaking idiot. This is very incompetent of you. Holy shit.
Hey, look, I I'm not used to situations like this. I tried to support you the best way I could before the stream.
Nope, thank you.
I had no
Thank you very
idea what
much.
I was doing. Okay, if there's any chance that I made it worse, which there's a high chance,
Not at all.
I apologize.
For full transparency, I told Twiggy before the show that I was having a fucking attack, and then I had walked far from my home, and he said, "No problem. I'll get Nightmare if you need the night off. You know, I'll take care of it." And I said, "No, I'm gonna show up. I need to say my piece. I need to talk about it. I was just having a hard time." And then, thankfully for me, Rastov helped. I was able to talk to Rastov for a minute and just be like, "Here's why I'm freaking the fuck out." And he was like, Good to your stream." And I said, "Yes, sir." So here I am.
My clock still says 2:11.
It is 12:11. My clock is accurate. So we have 49 minutes left.
Look, y'all can punish me if y'all want, but it ain't worth it, okay? Look, accidents happen. We've all been having an interesting day today, okay? All right. I'm just, you know, I was a little distracted. I looked at my clock. I just assumed it was right. I didn't even think about the fact that, you know, it had only been an hour. It didn't feel like an hour. It felt like a year.
It's an uncomfortable conversation.
I like
it's uncomfortable.
Oh, I thought you were saying.
It's an uncomfortable conversation, and it's not fun to talk about. Boogie said before he brought it up that he wasn't sure if he should. You know, he said he actually didn't want to. He said he talked to Keem before the stream, and he was like, "I don't know." Keem told him to think about it, and when it came down to it, Boogie snapped. And he fucking said he said everything that he had to say that had been built up for however fucking long it's been. And I get it. I do get it.
I had
It's easy
so
to
much
say fuck
prepared
you,
for
Boogie, right
today,
now.
dude. And now I don't know where to go with any of it. Like, at first we were going to do the birthday stream. So I produced a bunch of pictures of Jethro and different...
Let's look at those pictures.
Do what?
Let's look at the pictures.
In a second. I'm a little distracted. I don't know what's going on with my clock.
Fuck your clock. Pull up the pictures.
I'm so confused.
I did get some birthday cake for you, Jethro. Happy birthday. You're a good manager. Thank you for your help. They said sing happy birthday.
We will once we get Jethro up in here.
He's here now if we want to pull him up for a minute before we get into the Larson stuff.
Oh, we will.
Or we can do it at the end of the stream. It doesn't matter to me.
Oops, I'm doxing everything. I just showed everything. Oops. I forgot I was on OBS. I don't usually run OBS. Okay, we're having a disaster stream today. All right, nobody saw that. Everybody, get that out of your minds. You know what? Because I do got to read stuff. Give me 1 second. I'm going to main cam myself. And then I'm going to redo this, okay? Because I got to look at stuff. I got to. All right? It's just I'm not having the best time right now.
Well, you're good. I'm done looping. I'm done talking about Zay Zooted. I'm done talking about S1K. And S1K, Zay1 Zooted. If you guys see this, it's internet bullshit, and I'm willing to be done with it. If y'all are willing to be done with it. I'm tired of fucking having this bullshit drama. It's played out. It's boring. It's overdone. I'm over it.
I just wanted to talk
about it no
about
more.
Daniel Larson, and now I don't remember where I left off.
Where we left off was I was talking about how the Grace Vanderwall family is probably concerned. You said, where is Daniel Larson going next? Now we get to figure out, since he's left prison, where he's going.
Well, he went and got
What is he
macaroni
going
and
to do?
cheese. Where did he get the money for the macaroni and cheese?
I don't know. I don't know how he's going to make money if he's that far in debt.
Okay,
'Cause a
you
lot
know
of
what?
these-
Let me pull up his TikTok account real quick. Let me give you an update. Let's see how many followers
what
he's
he's
at
doing.
right now. If his account's still up, because sometimes they take them down pretty quick.
So what they do with a lot of these LOL cows, LOL cows, is they take all of these different ways of getting money, like all these different avenues, because like PayPal, eventually they'll get banned from PayPal. And then they'll go to Cash App, and then eventually they'll get banned from Cash App. And then they just go through the fucking list. So, like, I don't even know if Daniel Larson's even able to, like, receive money or not. I don't know his whole situation since he's gotten out of prison.
I don't either, but I'm trying to find his account. Okay, I found it. He already has 339,000 followers on this account, which
How
I
old
believe
is that
started.
account?
I believe this account. Let me go to the beginning of it.
Now, I'm not very up to date between this situation with S1K and Zay. I guess there's some beef between them relating to stuff S1K has said. I don't even know. I don't even know what I can say. I guess there was some beef between them that resulted in S1K calling them both foul. I guess this has to do with the way S1K treated as they zooted Zeta Ray. I guess that's a fair enough point against him, but he was very blunt. The thing about Zeta Ray, it's you like her or you hate her. It's either one or the other. I'm quite neutral a lot of the time, but mostly because there's not a lot of stuff that's coming out of it. So I don't know. I don't even know what can be said. Like truthfully, I don't really know what anybody can say about this. That's all really. This video will be up sooner or later, I guess. We'll wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. Till next time, God bless.